Here's to the man who drinks dark ale and goes to bed quite mellow. Here's to the man who drinks dark ale and goes to bed quite mellow. He lives as he ought to live. He lives as he ought to live. He lives as he ought to live. And dies a jolly good fellow.
Goodness, I feel I should be playing some sort of jaunty accordion or something over here.
Hello, you are watching the Single Malt Review, and today it's a bit of a blast from the past. And
yes,
a true treat for us.
We are going, we've gone off-piste a number of times here on the channel. Never further have we gone than this one, because we are going to try some of Digby's original recipe, cock ale. So buckle on in for this one.
Way back to the 17th century here. Good friend of ours likes historical brewing. He researches, he recreates. We've got an authentic recipe for cock ale.
It's a, it is not a facsimile of the original recipe, but the primary ingredient, indeed the cock, the chicken, that one is all entirely real. So I thought it's rather good. So I will start us off by reading the original recipe. So beware, there's a bit of sort of Middle English here, so you might have to join the dots, but we'll all manage. So the original recipe is a slightly roundabout. Take 8 gallons of ale, which implies the ale has already been brewed. So this would be an additive process rather than necessarily brewing. Take 8 gallons of ale, take a cock and boil him well. Then take 4 pounds of raisins of the sun well stoned. I think that means the pips have been removed, but it's a roundabout way of saying it.
Thoroughly sun-dried raisins?
Yes, thoroughly stoned. 2 or 3 nutmegs, 3 or 4 flakes of mace, half a pound of dates, and beat all of these with a mortar. And put them with 2 quarts of the best sack, which you might be thinking, that do you put them in a sack? How does sack? Sack, that was the name for it was kind of a fortified white port almost, from the region, from Portugal.
Fans of Shakespeare will recognise it as Falstaff's drink of choice.
So not only is this a beer with the chicken sort of added as a flavouring, it's then been fortified. So quite a weird beverage here. And so when the ale hath done working, which I suppose there's an out there for maybe when they said ale the first time, it wasn't fermented yet. Who knows?
So it's done working, it's finished, it's fermented. Yeah.
Yes, you put these in, stop it to close, 6 or 7 days, and then bottle it, and after a month, you may drink it.
I expect all the sugars from those fruits will have reinvigorated the fermentation, perhaps.
So, I have tasted this beer twice already. Once when it was relatively fresh, and I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah.
And then I tried it about a month later, and I thought, ooh, something's happening. So whether that was bottle variation or whether this beer is in fact going on a journey toward hell, I don't know. But what I can say is that we are going to taste the cock ale and hopefully live through it and report back.
In deference to modern standards of hygiene, basically, and modern knowledge of microbiology, our friend did make this by boiling the stock, basically the chicken juice.
This has been made with all direction towards safety. And
it was fermented with the chicken juice. It wasn't added afterward to make sure there would be no complications.
It was all boiled, it was all fine. All fine, as they say.
There was no ale made and then rooster added later. The rooster juice has been there from the beginning.
So, and before we go too far, this really did come out as a shockingly nice colour.
That is
a real...
beautifully clear. It's not showing up on camera, I'm sure, but it is astonishing, crystal clear.
It's a wonderful deep copper, and the head as well is quite beautiful.
When you consider that the bottle you poured it from, you didn't hand it from, that is frothy and chunky.
That's a soupy mess next to there. That's why I decanted it.
The pour is, that is a beautiful colour with an excellent amount of head.
Alright, so nose on the cock ale.
That is, I love a good home brewed ale, whether it's pale, dark, in this case quite red. What was the malt, like the mash bill here?
You know, I'm not absolutely sure. Typical though, fairly typical.
Cool.
You know, can't say the chicken really flaps out at you on the nose.
It's got a bit of a savoury twang to it, but if someone asked me to place that, I would not say, oh, that is surely chicken.
Surely chicken. It's almost like a maritime saltiness kind of.
Yeah, so I'm thinking on corn even, like someone made a beer out of cornflakes.
It's like, if you're familiar with a goza, slightly salted beer, that's all I would get from it. So yeah, gentle on the nose.
Yeah.
So
is there a speculative ABV here? Roughly how strong?
Probably about 5%, 5 or 6. So let's see. Oh, and there's your chicken.
Oh, yep. There is.
It kind of comes in waves.
Yep. Oh God. Yep. It ebbs and flows.
It's like beer, chicken. It's never exactly both at the same time. It's beer first. I'll say that much.
It's like tides ebbing and flowing, and every second tide is just chickens.
Yeah, the chicken kind of builds, and then the beer comes back in. It's really weird.
Now this is an early 17th century recipe, isn't it? Is that right?
Oh, thereabouts.
And 17th century England, at least for the upper classes, it was essentially all meat all the time. Every damn meal was potted, cured, roasted, pickled, some animal that's been killed and turned into a dish, including the beverages. Now, that's pretty much what we got here. Someone thought, well, it's good to eat, we may as well drink it too. Have that persisted to this day. We've had excellent oyster stouts and even a smoked eel stout.
Chucking meat and beer, that's nothing wrong with that. That happens.
It's
that
only
happens
like
commercially to this day.
The instinctive modern aversion to food poisoning, and heck, we know people who have had frankly terrible food poisoning from chicken, which makes me think like cold, old fermented chicken.
I think we're all good.
This is clearly fine because it's been fermented and in a sealed environment. So
this proves two things to me. This is really good. This is nice. This is the I have now tried 3 bottles of this. This is the best of them, and it's the oldest too. So I think I can put the slightly dodgy tasting one that I had in the middle of this journey through tasting the cock ale down to a bit of bottle variation, because this one is in stellar condition.
It's like a very robust, very fortifying, very savoury, reddish, slightly bitter ale.
It's beer with vitamins you would normally not even get from beer. So, and otherwise, it's quite fruity.
Yeah.
There's a bit of hop character to it.
Yeah, a little hint of spice. Yeah, some of that fruit. I don't know how much of the fruit and spice was preserved from the original recipe into this variant.
I'm not sure.
Hey, either way.
I've only know about chicken, which was the main one. But yeah, it is a manifest surprise. One, how good it really is, because it is very enjoyable beer. And 2, just how stealth the chicken is. You think you brew something with, chicken stock, effectively, you're going to get a chicken tasting beer, but it doesn't. It meshes quite well.
When you know it's there in advance, you can taste it all the way through. If you gave this to someone who was not expecting it, they would think, this is a peculiarly heavy, savoury, meaty, dark amber ale. What is up with it?
No, this is an extremely pleasant surprise.
Yeah.
I actually, and I never thought I'd say, I want more cock ale. More cock ale, please.
Fresh squeezed rooster juice.
It really is pretty nice. I think, you know how craft brewing likes to go weird? Here's the beer brewed with head brewer Dave's beard yeast.
Triple hopped Vienna mocha, lime, chili,
whatever, right?
kumquat pilsner.
Animal beers. Maybe they're the next thing. Maybe they're the new hazy, the new sour. We might be ahead of the curve.
3-course meal in a beer.
Quick, let's stop this camera and start a brewery immediately.
Beef and broccoli pilsner coming soon.
Oh my goodness!
Guaranteed.
No. Let's not go too crazy. Yeah, this stuff though, not crazy at all.
No.
This is a. I never thought I'd say the words. This is a delightful cock ale.
And a good insight into the tastes preferences of the past, how things were done previously, and how we can adapt those to our modern understanding of what is actually good for you, what you can do, and how to do it safely.
Perfect. Oh well, cheers, Digby. Knew their stuff 400 years ago or so. Slandra, I guess that's tangentially appropriate to chicken beer, but at any rate, we'll be back with another raft of delights next time around. Probably not another animal beer, but hey, we'll see how our brewery goes. Catch you then, that's what I say.